See you on this track. Yeah, so we're coming at you once again. Going to do our life segments. You know, we were reading in the Kolbrin Bible, and it got real good. So I know that you're ready for the continuation of this. So let's go. It says in his 1999 book, Exodus to Author, Mike Bailey dates the Exodus at 1628 BC. How did he arrive at this conclusion? Bailey deduced this date according to the extremely narrow tree ring measurements taken from a bog in Sentry Hill in North Ireland. According to Bailey, the narrowest tree rings ever recorded commenced just after a cataclysmic volcanic explosion on the Mediterranean island of Santorini, creating a huge dust cloud. But here's the clincher. Bailey hints that there were two dust clouds happening at the same time, one from Santorini and the other from an incoming celestial body named Typhon, which possibly could have caused Santorini to blow in the first place. A number of ancient writers recorded descriptions of this celestial body. Bailey states, according to Apollodorus, Typhon overtopped the mountains, and his head often brushed the stars. Such and so great was Typhon when hurling kindred rocks, he made for the very haven, with hissing and shouts, spouting a great jet of fire from his mouth. Quoting Pliny, a terrible comet-like object was seen by the people of Ethiopia and Egypt, to which Typhon, the king of that period, gave his name. In other words, the king put his mark of ownership on the celestial object, if you will. Typhon is mentioned not only by Pliny, but also by Lidas, Servius, Hephaestion, and Justinus. Apparently, Typhon was seen as an immense, slow-moving, red-colored globe. Lidas was in the opinion that if ever the earth again ran into Typhon, the former would be destroyed in the encounter. There were close associations between the plagues of the Exodus and the phenomena associated with Typhon. Thus, based on the quote above, Typhon was the destroyer of the Exodus. Yes, during its last flyby, Typhon affected Earth by nudging it into a slightly larger orbit around the Sun. Kolbrin Bible, manuscripts 34 and 4. The 5 days now added to the days of the year are days of sorrow for the alteration of things. Not only does this verse support a pole shift, but affirms that 5 days were now added to the year. So 5 days had to be added to the calendar. Could it be true that the ancient Egyptian year was only 360 days prior to the destroyer's last visitation during the Exodus? Yes, an answer was given by Emmanuel V. in 1950. Worlds in Collision. The Egyptian year was composed of 360 days before it became 365 by the addition of 5 days. A reform party among the Egyptian priests met at Canopus and drew up a decree to harmonize the calendar with the seasons according to the present arrangement of the world, as the text states. V goes on to say that the introduction of the 5 extra days was caused by an actual change in planetary movements implied in the Canopus decree, for it refers to the amendment of the faults of the heaven. So if the Egyptians had to add 5 days to their calendar year, were the ancients on the other side of the world having to do the same? Yes. V also writes, the Mayan year consisted of 360 days. Later, 5 days were added, and the year was then a turn 360-day period and 5 days. They did reckon them apart and called them the days of nothing. Wow. Friar Diego de Landa, in his Yucatan before and after the conquest, wrote that the 5 supplementary days were regarded as sinister and unlucky. Why did the ancients regard these 5 extra days of the year as sinister? Friar Diego de Landa recorded a sense of foreboding amongst the local people about the extra days. Perhaps the Mayans knew of an incoming celestial object that was responsible for nudging Earth outward into a larger orbit. Therefore, they would naturally think a sinister force was involved with these 5 unlucky days. Was the incoming object their god? This word that they pronounce as their god is spelled Quetzalcoatl. The celestial plummet serpent. This is a distinct possibility. Alright, y'all, we right at 6 minutes. We're gonna jump right back in on the next track. We figuring out what the mark of the beast really is as well. Alright, we coming along to that. We talking about the destroyer. We reading the Kolbrin Bible. It's all coming together. Alright, be wholesome, be sound, be alert, be made whole through this and everything you encounter. It is all to make you, never to break you. Alright, stay focused. Be well in the name of wellness. We'll see you on the next track, baby.